Hi, this is Willow from the Business Library. Today we're going to look at Passport and we're going to find international industry analyses. So this is the Passport screen that you'll get into, and you can see that there's a bunch of options on the top and a nice search bar here. So this resource really is great for international industry information and other international information as well. It really is focused on consumer goods specifically. So you're not going to find information on things like agriculture or chemicals or anything like that. So sticking with consumer goods, you can use the search bar here. The search has gotten a lot better than it used to be. So if we were looking for something like clothing, we could type in clothing, like in Denmark or in the US or something, and we could see, and it's going to give us some recommendations, which is nice. Okay, so you can see that they don't actually use the term clothing. They use the term, it looks like there's apparel or menswear is here. So because I'm not seeing right away exactly what I want, I might change my search. So I'm like, oh, okay, what happens if we put apparel instead? And then we can see that there is like apparel and footwear is a category that they searched. So and then we could put it at a country, right? So like in Denmark or in the US, right? Um, so we can give ourselves a little help with that search. So then we can see that there is an apparel accessories in Denmark and an apparel and footwear in Denmark too. And I'm specifically looking at this analysis section, but you can see there's also just regular statistics, and then there's these dashboards as well. Okay, so but we are going to kind of focus on these country reports, this analysis section, right? That's what we're focusing on today. Um, and I'll show you another way to get there as well. So you can go through these at the top. You can go to industries or channels or companies and so on. And you can also use this explore categories. And I find that the explore categories is kind of the best way to get in. You're guaranteed to find what you need that way. So if we select a category here, we can see we can select an industry. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to click go. And then we're going to have the option to select one of the industries. Okay. And let's see here. So here we can see them all listed out. And this is probably helpful to just get an idea of what content is included in this resource. So appliance and electronics, drinks, food and nutrition, health and beauty, home products, luxury and fashion, nicotine and cannabis, and services and B2B. Okay. So my next thing here would be to select one of these, okay? And so I'm gonna stick with this idea of clothing. And so I'm gonna go down here and you can actually pop these open and see kind of the subcategories. So if I click on apparel and footwear, I can see that they have both apparel and footwear here. And then there's other things too, right? There's sportswear, I will say that if you stay at the higher level, you're more likely to get an analysis, and that's what we're looking for. If you go down to just apparel or just footwear, you're going to find some data, useful data, but not that nice analysis that we are looking for today. So I'm going to stick with the high level apparel and footwear. And then on the side here, I'm going to click next, and it's going to give us an opportunity to pick a geography. Okay, so the nice thing about this, there's lots of data on the US specifically, which is very helpful. So this resource can be helpful for other industry information as well on consumer goods, but specifically it has these other countries that it's focused on. I will say the focus is not even. It doesn't have all countries. If you look at like the Middle East and Africa, we can see that there's pretty little coverage. Not a lot of countries are covered here, and there are a lot of different countries, of course, in the Middle East and Africa. But if we stick to something like Western Europe, we can expect that we'll find quite a lot. So we can pick Denmark, okay? And then we can view our results. And we'll see right away that there's some statistics that pop up. We can see there's like things like market size and company share and brand share, and all of these you can just view the data right away. But what I want to look at is this analysis section. So what we're looking for is a country report. So you can see there's a bunch of company profiles down below, but this country report is going to get us some great information and will also show us like that relevant data as well. Okay. So here's the analysis. We have an executive summary. We have trends. Here's the sales and apparel sales of apparel and footwear, right? You can see this drop. That's the 2020 drop. We can scroll down and see lots of information here. So here's the bunch of the context is what I want you to see. And then we can see that they break it down into apparel, footwear, and sportswear. So that's the data that you're going to see for those different categories. And with all of these, I would say look at the little squares because that's going to get you to the information. It's going to get you to a data chart if you want. So other things that they have that's really great is they have this company share information. And then here down below, they have brand share, right? So some of these are companies that you probably are aware of, right? Some of them are worldwide. Here we see Adidas there, and we see Nike and H&M and M and stuff. So some of those you'd probably know, but some of them might be specific to Denmark as well. Okay. So lots of great information there. But then the other thing is that you can click through and see data graphics. So you can get a detailed breakdown of some of this information. And again, clicking in all the little squares, you can get that full data, right? So let me just show you here with this the category breakdown, we could click on that little square and it will get us to this data, right? And this is kind of great. And it breaks it down into other things as well that you might see, right? So here we have apparel and footwear, but then they break it down to other things as well. So there's children's wear and they even have here like nightwear and outerwear and jeans and swimwear and underwear and things like that, right? And we can break that here. And all of these things are also adjustable. So right now, this is the unit, this is the data type, and all of these, if you click into them, oh, sorry, if you click at the top, we can change the stats type, right? So we can see it here. We can change the data type over here, right, by retail volume or retail value RSP. There's this sum, right? So there's all kinds of things to apply. Sometimes you can get a look into the future, right? Yeah, here we can see that we can actually see to 2030, so we can get a forecast. So it's just very uh, adaptable, and you can change to see what you need. Okay, so this is a really great site. Take a look at it. You're going to find a lot of great information here, both on the data side and the analysis side. Thanks.